So today we're going to talk about this little beauty here, the Outback Touring XT. So to draw your attention here, first thing I'm going to talk about, if you look at the Subaru logo and look right down, is our 180-degree front view monitor, standard on the Touring Edition. You can find it in the Onyx Edition as well. To the left, you have your steering responsive headlights with auto beams, auto high beam assist, fog lights down the bottom, and if you look up in your windshield, up by your rear view mirror, you have two forward-facing cameras looking at you. That is Subaru's safety technology known as EyeSight. Now, as you can see from the rugged exterior, it does have chrome accents around the top bars. Up at the top, you can see the rugged design does have built-in crossbars, which is fantastic if you decide to put things on top of your vehicle. Below, you have a rigid design between the body of the wheel well. That makes it look like a hiking boot, able to get you through some more muddy situations without muddying up your exterior paint as well. Outbacks are known for their adventure. Then when looking at the back, if you see the four little dots at the very bottom, that'll let you know that this vehicle is equipped with reverse automatic braking. That is going to work your braking controls when you're in your backup camera. In your backup camera, you have a red, yellow, and green zone. When you get to your red zone, you will have heard beeps prior in your green and yellow, but when you get to red, it's going to automatically stop for you. Additionally, of note, only on the Outbacks on the 2020 year, there is a power lift gate option built into the Subaru logo. Wave your arm or elbow within 6 inches of that vehicle as long as the key fob is on you, and it will open the power rear gate. Now when you open up the door, you get to see the beautiful Napa brown leather that's stitched all the way throughout the vehicle. You see it's a little bit on the door handles. You can see it on your 10-way power seat. The 10th way being the extendable thigh adjuster for the taller folks. It's a great feature. For short folks like me, it's not really a necessity, but it is pretty awesome. As you can see, this is also hand perforated leather, so you can see the perforations. That's going to allow better heat from your heated seats and air from your ventilated seats. So you get toasty butt and cool butt all the way through every season, depending on how you like to drive and your comfort. Now before I get into the screen, I'm going to cover a couple things here on the steering wheel, and I'll go over the right side a little bit more detail. On the left, you have your audio controls, channel change, volume, source, and there's a little face that speaks that works with your Bluetooth audio. It also works with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto with Siri and your Google Assistant. Below are your answer call and end call buttons. Below that, you have arrows that will adjust your little menu in between the steering wheel where you can see driver monitoring system scan progress. I'm going to cover that in a little bit more detail here in just a moment. Now here's a little bit more of a close-up on the adaptive cruise. So your top left and bottom left buttons are going to be for distance between you and the next vehicle. Top right is going to be how you set your cruise control. Bottom right is going to be your lane centering. And then to set and resume your cruise control, you will just flick the little toggle switch in the center. Now by flicking it up or down, you are going to be moving in 5-mile-per-hour increments. If you hold it down, you go up single digits, but generally when most people are transitioning between speeds, if you're going from 63, generally you're going to want to go up to the next 5-mile-per-hour increment, so you'd want to be at either 65 or 60 if you're trying to go below. And then from there, 5-mile-per-hour increments. If you're in a 45 zone, you just easily flick down twice and you're back into from 35 to 45, flick up twice, you're up to speed, rather than having to hold or flick 10 times. It's a little more convenient. All right, before we go into the screen, I'm just going to cover the shift knob before we go into there. To the left, you can see your little markers showing you what gear you're in: park, reverse, neutral, drive, or you have M for your manual mode. Simply just kick it over to the left, and you can use the paddle shifters on your steering wheel to increase or decrease your gears. To the right of the shift knob, you do have looks like a little coffee cup, but it is a view button. That is what's going to work your front vision camera, that 180 degree front view monitor we discussed. Slightly above that, if you follow on you, there's a wireless charger in our Tourings. That is not a standard option, but it is available. And then above you have your auxiliary port and 2 USB charging ports. Those will not only charge your phone, but also work your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, regardless of which port you decide to use. Now this year on the 2020 Outbacks, they were given a little bit of a facelift with our 11.6-inch screen. Now on this screen, as you can see, there are red and blue buttons on the left and right hand side. You can still work your climate controls individually. You can still work your defrosters without having to work into the screen, but all of your other climate control based features will be built into the screen on the very bottom. Whether you decide to use your heated seats, your ventilated seats, or just want to use a sliding toggle instead of manually clicking the buttons, you have that ability as well. On the Tourings, you will get navigation, you'll get eyesight, and then up at the very top here, you can see this little bar. As you saw earlier in the video, there was that driver scanning in progress. Now this little bar here is our driver mitigation system. What's awesome about it is not only does it watch for driver fatigue, so if you start dozing off, it's gonna start beeping at you, say, hey, keep your eyes on the road. But when you get in the car and you've registered your profile, it's not only gonna identify you and adjust to your seat settings, it'll connect to your Bluetooth, but it will also kick over to the secondary driver if you guys are on a road trip. So let's say you and your partner are going down the road trip, you get tired and let the partner drive. Well, if they have their profile built in, it will kick over to their profile settings and allow them to easily take over driving without having to stop, adjust everything, make sure everything's set, and then continue your road trip. Next, we're going to cover the back. As you can see here, you have the beautiful Napa brown leather in the back as well. They are lay flat seats. Not all of them are going to come with a seat back protector, but this one does. And as you can see in the back here, you have the all-weather floor liners all throughout the vehicle. You also have your additional carpets that come with the Touring logo built in or written into them. You have your lay flat handles. If you look to the right, you can see the actual pull handle there. Drops both. That tonneau cover in the back, or cargo cover, which will cover all of your goods if you'd like, can be taken off. Underneath the Outback logo on the very bottom, you can see there's a little compartment where your spare tire, jack and such will be in. There'll be a nice little piece of foam on top of your donut, and there's a cutout where you can store this cargo cover. That way you don't have to store it in your garage or anywhere that would be inconvenient for you. If you decide, you can also put in a full-size spare. All you gotta do is take out that little foam piece and change out your donut, and it would fit in just fine. Now, what's awesome for your back passengers is not only do you get heated seats, but they get them as well. So in the back, as you can see, there's 2 levels of heat for either seat. If you press the left, it will activate the 40 split seat. If you press the right, it will activate your 60 split seat. In the center, you can see you have 2 additional USB charging ports. So in the Outback, comes with 4. You also have an additional vent control, so that way if anyone's in the back, they can get air conditioning to themselves as well. Now this is the 2020 Subaru Touring XT. Thanks again for stopping in and looking at the images and the vehicle information I provided to you today. If you like what you saw today, if you could just leave comments, let me know anything you'd like to see as far as other vehicles, any improvements you'd like to see as far as stills or information provided. If there's more information you'd like on this vehicle, comment as well. But it would be awesome if you guys could like, subscribe, ring the bell, any of those kind of things, just helping promote the channel. I'm still fresh into this, so any advice is greatly appreciated. And as always, I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.